exquisite beauty of God. Holy reflection of all creation. To accept the holiness that is all that you are, all that is. Holiness, whole, perfect, and innocent. The divine truth of love has never altered. It has never changed in any way. And that divine holiness is what you are. Whether you are remembering it or not, the holiness is the reality. It is all reality. In this moment, I'm calling you to, just for this moment, open your heart to accepting that everything is pure holiness, that nothing else exists, and that you're willing in this moment to just rest in that acceptance, focusing this present moment here, now, on everything of holiness, which is everything. And that holiness is all that is eternal. So wherever your mind wants to wander, and the temptation is always pulling, or it seems to be, for this moment, refuse it. Not with battle, but with the recognition that your heart is longing to rest. Your heart is longing to accept peace and to rest in that peace. The mind that wants to go someplace else and be distracted by the familiar of the past is just the seduction of the past, when holiness is the reality of every moment. Bring peace to your heart. Allow the peace to just rest in your heart in this moment. Taking all eyes back into the heart center, focusing your attention where it is most helpful for you, within, resting, sinking in, just sinking in this moment, that there is nothing for you to do, nothing to be accomplished, nothing to figure out, nothing that needs your attention. The habit of going to the mind for distraction is the belief that you're going to learn something new there, get answers, have understandings, But all of the true understanding, all of the true awareness comes from the divine light of love, comes through the silence, through the quiet, through the resting. The mind of separation is terrified of the resting. It needs occupation. It convinces that occupation with thoughts is really essential. And in the past, you believed it to be so. But while the preoccupation with thoughts is running in the familiar, the quiet, open space of rest is waiting. The holiness of God is in the resting in the heart. Imagine yourself having been on a tedious, difficult journey. You don't have to imagine too much. The past, to every beloved, seems like a difficult journey that's been extremely tiring. In the belief of separation, that's what it's all looked like, and that's how it was experienced. You believe that year after year you had to figure things out and make a name for yourself and establish yourself as having had worth in an identity. This is the tedious journey. But love is calling you to let go of that tedious journey, to recognize it has never been the journey that had any value, because it was a journey to nowhere that was getting nothing except the belief of more separation and more belief in scarcity and more belief in proving worth. But the divine truth is you have absolutely nothing to prove, and you cannot prove it. When you are the holiness of the universe, when that is what you are, not in the individuality, but in the divine center of being, and in that recognition, you have nothing that can ever be proved. And that becomes the rest. But the willingness is what is asked of you. If you choose, if you are wanting to remember peace and return to that rest and joy, love asks your willingness to join the willingness of truth, the will of truth, by bringing your focus and attention just into this moment and saying, yes, I will follow. Yes, I will accept that everything that lives is the light of God. Everything of creation is perfect and whole and in the holy union of one. The entire universe is within you. And the awareness of that divine universe within is calling for your quiet attention, the focus, stepping out of multitasking, trying to grab something spiritual while your mind is running in another direction, but bringing as much as you possibly can just to this moment and resting here. Surrendering the day, this night, surrendering everything that you thought you knew about it. Every reaction, every assessment, every doubt, every hesitation. And just surrendering it all. And in this moment, the willingness to just come empty. Empty into love. Into peace and quiet. Refusing the mind of its constant chatter, but just turning away from it for a moment, for this time, and asking the question within, what do I truly want? And no matter what the words, the answer is always peace. Peace. Right here, right now. And as you surrender the breath into the hands of God, breathing fully and deeply, but with a softness and ease, that there's nowhere to go, nothing to do. You can breathe and take the full, easy breath. Letting everything slow down. As the belief in busyness drops away, no longer invited. Here in the communion of love. Breathing, allowing, resting the mind, resting the heart. And affirming to continuously offer every moment into the hands of God. And surrender this day. And surrender this moment. I surrender every thought. I surrender. Show me the way. affirming in this moment, in the quiet, open space. That here in the infinite circle of love, we are one. There is only one presence here. It's the power of God, the life force of God, the light of God, the truth of every being, the truth of all creation. This universe is all love. This sanctuary is filled with love in the affirming truth that only love is real. Allowing, trusting. Allow this prayer to hold you here in the present moment as you join with your heart singing, with your mind resting. Praise and truth of love. I am Mary of conception. I am seeking to open your heart, offering my love and guidance as your suffering world comes apart. Bring your pain like a flower to open. Bring your sorrow to place at my feet. Tears that are watering my garden in the river of Jordan will meet. Oh, my children, I seek your surrender. Both the path and the message are clear. My Saint John is walking beside you, holding your hand through this fear. Keep your strength as you seek to be humble. Let the power that guides you reveal all the blessings of my holy rapture, confirming you know what is real. The aspect of God, the Divine Mother, in all of its divine forms and expressions, is calling you to surrender and is there holding your hand in every moment as you walk through the journey of time, letting it go and trusting that all love is timeless, timeless and truly eternal. Only love. I must love in the heart. Blessed Mother is the one who calls to me, learning to love all creation with all my heart, bringing the love of God to every moment. Oh, my Blessed Mother, my Divine Mother, you hold us in the truth of all life, and the blessings of all forgiveness for the mistaken identities that I've held of creation. We are here to remember to love. My Divine Father, we say yes to all of forgiveness. We forgive our mistaken ideas that have told us in the past of separation and death. But now we say yes to remember love with all of the heart. Eleva no coração, a Virgem Mãe foi quem me deu para eu amar ao Senhor Deus. Ó Virgem Mãe, Divina Mãe, vos nos perdoe os filhos seus, para nos amar, ó Senhor Deus. Divino Pai, Rei Criador, vos nos perdoe, nos pecadores, para nos amar com grande amor. I must love. Situations and forms are constantly changing in this belief of separation. The forms change constantly so that every beloved believes that new things are happening, that new situations are occurring. But truly, everything that comes into form is the call for love. Everything that you see in form, because you see through separation, beyond the form, is the call for love. The call to bring peace and harmony to every situation, to every beloved, and to rest unbothered by anything that seems to appear, because everything that appears is just a reflection that says, these are your beliefs. Are you ready to let them go and come back to peace? I must love. I must learn to love. It is the purpose of this journey of incarnation. That is the calling. I must love. Everyone should be honored like this. When beloveds come to my house for the first time, if they do not lean toward being too proud, I will kneel before them and ask for their hand and place the back of it against my forehead. Everyone should be honored like this. What else can make you grow to your full height? I am one of God's pillars in this world, and a proxy too, always carrying out His wish, His command. And what of those for whom it would be best if they not see me? Humbly before them, on my knees until they are ready. Well, at night, in my prayers, I place my head upon their feet. I plant and help awaken a sacred realm in all who have entered my heart. This is the calling to every beloved who hears the call to love. To have the opportunity to spend every day kneeling at the feet of every beloved, honoring every beloved as the light of God. It's a quiet place of joy. At first, in this calling to love and to honor every beloved, you could feel the resistance. The resistance says, I'm going to embarrass myself by seeing the light when no one else is seeing the light. The ego identity wants to be one of the sheep, wants to join constantly in the belief in hardship and battle within the world, commiserating difficulties and comparing war stories. But there's no healing there. What good are the war stories? The competition of, I have more than you do. There's no healing there. And in that unhealing place, that's where the unrest is, that's where the fear is fed. To surrender the belief of the past, of being unfairly treated, of the war that everyone walked through in the belief of separation, is to drop the swords and realize that there is no healing in the war. Only love has the power of healing. Love is the healing. And as you offer love, honor, respect, and see and want to see the innocence of every beloved, healing light pours into your entire being in a deep awareness of connection, of communion. That was the teaching of the one who was known as Jesus. And it was the same teaching as every teacher of love. Don't see the story of the past in all those that you look on, but be willing to see them in the light of love, in the innocence. Honor them. Kneel at their feet with your heart. It isn't necessary for the body, the form, to actually even do this in person. It's the willingness of the heart to embrace, to comfort. The mind would say, how can I comfort anyone? The doubt would say, oh, yeah, or else I know how to comfort here, I'll do it my way. But the comfort is in the peace, The comfort is in, I'm willing to see your innocence, and I say yes to that. And that becomes your own healing. Because as you see the innocence and are willing to see the innocence in the world, you're actually healing your heart and seeing it within you. It's a prism of reflection. And it becomes so simple. The mind of separation really wants to make things as difficult as possible and as complicated as possible, and have lots of complications and strategies and surprises and problems that keep coming up. But love is quiet and simple, peaceful, trusting that you can't be hurt, that you cannot accept that you are the light of God, peace of God, the eternal love of creation. You can't accept that and serve the belief that problems and difficulties and battles are authentic. It's not naive. It's honest. Every moment, be willing to kneel before each beloved, touching their feet, honoring and respecting that they are one with you in the light of God. That you want only their divine light to be in your heart. And let the power of God's healing transform with your willingness, everything. Pray. The power of prayer is so easily dismissed, kind of an aside, or a ritual of some kind that maybe you should do, but it's just a ritual. But prayer is really the calling from the heart, the yearning from the heart to the universe, to God, to the power of creation. And it awakens within you the realization of what you truly want. Don't be afraid of what you truly want. You want freedom, you want peace. You want to remember the entire creation of beauty and perfection that is heaven right here on earth. You aren't asking for too much. You're asking for reality. You're asking for the truth to break through any barriers that have been made in the name of fear. All the illusions of barriers that have been made in the name of the story of the past. But to really, really accept I want to remember. I want to see, not for an experience, but because the heart is so longing for the truth. Show me the way. And when you ask that, when you proclaim that's what you want, love always answers. The love will not leave you without the answer that is most helpful. Don't be afraid of the yearning within, but let the yearning be held in a trust and a faith that it will be answered. That your expression of yearning, letting it burst through you, is just you meeting the divine at the door. God does not need you to have this yearning. You're not needing to prove anything. It isn't about you saying, look, I've done my work. It's the yearning is for you. The yearning is for your heart breaking open. Letting it break open is setting it free. It's not about breaking open in sorrow and pain. It's about breaking open in the sweet, unbearable light. It won't always be unbearable. The more that you say yes, the more that you open your heart and refuse the defenses that have been built in the past. The surrender of the need for defending in any way. It opens the heart, sets it free, lets it break open from its imprisonment that's been made through the mind of separation, believing in danger and lack within the world. But this is the journey of love. This is the spiritual journey of love. And all that it's asking for is your little willingness, right here, right now, to bring your attention to what is actually helpful, and to question all thoughts, whether they are helpful. Are they serving love? Are they trusting? Are they invoking faith? Are they invoking gratitude? Are they connecting mind and heart together and resting in that ease and the beautiful learning that I don't have to worry about what to say or what to do, because love will direct me and is directing me as I listen, as I come quietly into a place of humility, to embrace humility and learn of humility. learning to be honest, learning about honesty, willing to embrace honesty, and to recognize the mistakes that you have believed in the past, mistaken identities of difficulty and struggle and being abandoned, the belief that you were rejected. Love does not reject. Love can't reject. The belief in rejection of the past is the reflection of the belief of being separate from God. Thank God it's not true. Because truly you are not separate from God. You have just experienced yourself in your own mind as being separate. But it was never true. And that is the return to love, the return to truth, the willingness to embrace spiritual truths is blessedly the nourishment of the universe. In the spiritual truth that you cannot be unfairly treated. You cannot be unfairly treated by anything or anyone. To accept this is to open to the light. How many times a day do you have the opportunity to affirm and join with truth? I cannot be unfairly treated. Whatever my mind is telling me, whatever points I'm adding up of somebody's wrongdoing, whatever I'm assessing or perceiving, I cannot be unfairly treated. Because the light of God cannot be unfairly treated. To accept that you are the light of God right now, right here, that this is who you've always been, what you've always been. Nothing can mistreat the light of God. There is no opposite. There is no other. To believe that there is an opposite is to believe that there is light and dark and good and bad. And there is no light and dark battling except in the mind. Only love is real. In reality, there is only harmony. It is harmony itself. It is peace itself. This can't be understood with the mind that made up the belief in difficulty and pain. But in every moment that you accept, I cannot be unfairly treated. How many times a day? Doesn't matter. Could be 1,000, could be 100, could be once. None of them are real. To call on the Divine Mother in the moment and ask for that strength and ask for strength to see clearly, to see with the heart. to really want to see the innocence so that you can kneel before every beloved and honor that light. Is to accept you cannot be unfairly treated. And there begins the end of suffering. As you accept that you are whole, complete, perfect. But then everything else gets left at the curb. All the beliefs of identity, all the beliefs of the past, all the beliefs of all the identities that you've attached to and believed in the world of even rescue and ideas of strategies and all of it left at the curb. And come home to the light of God. To accept that there is no place where the peace of your heart, your love and peace, the truth of your testimony to the love of God is not needed. There is no place in your everyday life that your offering of love and peace as a testimony to the truth of God is not needed. It's needed. That's what's being called for. And that's what your heart is calling you to. That you testify. You are the testimony of peace, of the peace of God's love. You bring that, and as you bring that into each situation, no matter what the situation is, not judging the situation as good or bad or anything else, just bringing peace. And to bring peace is to let go of knowing. Just opening the heart as deeply as possible and offering peace. And that becomes the divine testimony to humanity of God's love. And it is needed in every moment. It is being called for in every moment. It is the healing of humanity. You carry that power within you. You carry the power of choice within you. Am I bringing the past and the belief of difficulty to each situation, or am I bringing peace? Am I bringing the testimony of love to each situation, to each beloved? This is a full-time occupation. Somebody asks you, do you work full-time? Yes, I do. Bringing peace and harmony. That is the journey of incarnation, until you no longer have to consider it work because you can't stop the flow. It breaks through all barriers and runs as a river, being offered to everyone unconditionally, not asking for credentials. I'd like to see your credentials before I offer you peace, to see if you're up to the task of being worthy of it. But in the flow of love, there's no asking for credentials. There's no test that you put anyone through to see if they're worth the effort. You begin to see and open to each beloved being the totality of humanity. That every beloved that you meet, every beloved that you pass, every beloved that comes into awareness is all of humanity. and has the credentials of the perfection of God's love within them that is being called to be awakened through your offering of the testimony of God's love, through your peace, through your willingness to not judge them or have opinions about their behaviors or what they represent to you, but to just offer love, learning to offer love. That's the schoolroom. That in the quiet truth you are kneeling before each beloved and touching their feet, kissing their hand, and offering God's love. The love of truth, the love of peace. Expecting nothing from any beloved, not looking for anything to get at all. No recognition. You're so nice. No. Not waiting for the recognition that they got what you're doing, because you enter quietly and you offer constantly. And as you offer constantly in your conscious choice, your heart is breaking open more and more beyond anything that you could imagine. And the river of love begins to really flow. And the mind is healed. The fever is gone. The disturbances are no longer in awareness. They disappear like fog over a river, sinking into the water. And all the belief of disturbances begins to really disappear. And you begin to realize there is no battle. There is no problem. There is no death. The acceptance of the divine eternal life of love itself. There's a misconception in this world of healing that many beloveds have grabbed onto, that is to preach truth to others instead of demonstrating it. But love calls you to bring it into manifestation, to offer peace. Not talk about peace in theory, but to bring that peace of love to each beloved, to open is divine inner vision that is waiting to be opened within, and to see through the miracle of love that as you offer love, respect, honoring of each beloved as the innocence of God, your heart is healed. You weren't asked to become the healer in the sense of figuring out how to heal. Just offer love. Offer peace. Offer peace in every moment also to your own mind. No longer willing to let the mind run, taking hostages all day long. The hostages of judgment and the perception of battle. But willing to surrender constantly I don't know how to look at this world. I don't know what anything means. But I surrender all beliefs of pain and suffering. I surrender all of my mind's occupation with being a separate body and willing to rest in the heart of love itself, resting. At night in my prayers, I place my head upon their feet. And in that holy union, you find heaven. You find the truth. There are beliefs in the world that say things like, I will not grovel and beg for recognition. So I'm going to keep back. I'm going to protect and defend behind a facade of knowing and being savvy in the world. And right between those two elements, the groveling, the begging, and over here, the aloofness and the arrogance, in between is the humility of the heart that isn't willing anymore to look for anything from anyone, not because of any rejection, not because of protection, but because the healing is in the offering of love. That everything is already within you, that you are whole and complete, that you are the light of God, and that the addiction of the past, of getting, of being fed by the outside of identity, is disappearing because you're accepting that everything is within you, that you are the light, the way, the truth, and that you are called by God, called by love, called by remembering to serve every beloved by offering your heart, embracing, kissing their feet, welcoming them home into your heart, blessing each beloved, not with your own benevolence, but with the benevolence of God, of recognition that every beloved is innocent. No more enemies and contradictions of victims and victimizers, but recognizing and accepting, I'm not a victim, and I will not hold anyone else in that identity. And I will not hold the perception of others being victimizers in this world, but to bring the cooling truth of love to the fever of the mind that has made a world of such battle. The willingness to bring love through the teachings of love. As love teaches you, offer the love. Offer peace and harmony and ease in every moment. Let the power of God answer your prayers by teaching you how to open and extend love. Let God answer your prayers. And refuse the temptation to try to tell him what you need, but to trust in the power of the universe, that the power of the universe is completely aware of what is most helpful for you. To put your faith and trust in the power of the universe, moment to moment. Humbly accepting, I do not perceive my own best interests. How could I? I would only have the past to reach into in my grab bag. So I will let the light teach me what is most helpful. And I will continue to learn that everyone should be honored. Everyone should be held in the highest esteem of the truth of God. Not because of their actions in the world, but despite them. Despite what the form wants you to see in the belief of separation, to go beyond, to be willing to be taken beyond, and offer peace. Every moment of every day is the opportunity of learning. Just choose to be available. Choose to be in that quiet space. You can be in that quiet space no matter what seems to be going on, either outside or in your everyday life. You can be driving in the car. You can be making dinner. You can be working in the yard. It doesn't matter what the action is. The peace is coming from within you and radiating into the heart of every beloved and connecting with every part of creation. If you're in the garden, working in the garden, or you're walking through the garden, breathe in the truth that you are one with all of this creation. Breathe it in and open the heart to offering all of it peace, and join in that peace. Every beloved, every part of creation is your universe that is within you. Open and become the butterfly, not metaphorically. Join each divine creature in that oneness. And as you enter into each beloved creature, each beloved fragment of the life force of God, you learn of perfection. You go beyond the form and enter into the beingness with all creation. It's not beyond you. It is you. It's just coming out of that mind identity that says, I know what I see and I know what is real and I know what limitation is. But instead, show me the way. Show me the way and let me open to all creation. No more limit. As the mind is healed of its belief of limitations, you step deeper and deeper into a limitless existence. Limitless. Untethered. Where all of the forms begin to open. They're no longer so securely held in form and separation, but everything begins to just open and connect because you're saying yes, and you're coming into a truth that is beyond comprehension. Let love keep taking you. Let love keep showing you. Until everything is returned to oneness, where it's always been. One heart, truly, one heart. But the choice is always calling until there is no more choice. And the choice is for every moment, am I choosing peace? Am I choosing harmony? What am I believing in? What am I seeing? What am I attached to? And the willingness to keep coming back. Only love. Offering love. Resting in love. I am one of God's pillars in this world and a proxy too, always carrying out his wish. To open to the awareness that you are the proxy of God. Always, always carrying out his wish, God's wish of peace and harmony to return to its natural awareness. Be that pillar of love, because that's what you are. Learn of that pillar of strength. Connect with that pillar of strength within, of being undefended. That is the true strength. I am not weak but strong in the truth of love. I am not helpless but all powerful in the truth of love. Offer that love and recognize the strength. Let the strength blossom. As my heart opens like a flower, I recognize the living God within, in the healed heart, and in the mind that has been surrendered. Only love.